information that we want to focus on in this question are: first, DynamoDB table; second, provision throughput exceeded exception; and third, you're not exceeding your provision throughput. Let's look at each of the options given. Option A, you haven't provisioned enough DynamoDB storage instances, is wrong and can be eliminated. In DynamoDB, we don't provision storage instances. We provision capacity in terms of read capacity and write capacity units. Option B, you're exceeding your capacity on a particular range key, is also not a valid answer. Option D, you're exceeding your capacity on a particular sort key, is also invalid. This option is actually the same as option B, as range key is just another name used to refer to a sort key in DynamoDB. Option E, you haven't configured DynamoDB auto-scaling triggers, might actually look like a sensible option, but the question very clearly specifies that you're not exceeding your table's provision throughput. So there should be no requirement of auto-scaling as yet. So the correct answer for this question is that you're exceeding your capacity on a particular partition key. As we know, the RCU's provision for a table are divided equally amongst the available partitions. If a particular partition key makes a partition hot, there are chances of DynamoDB returning a provision throughput exceeded exception during reads. This is another sample question. Let's take a look. The key terms to look at here are by default, resources, and cannot be created. If one of the resources in an AWS CloudFormation stack cannot be created, by default, CloudFormation attempts to roll back all the changes made till the time of failure and terminates the stack creation. Keeping this in mind, option A and option C. So option C says previously created resources are kept, but the stack creation is terminated. Not correct. Option C says the stack creation continues and the final results indicate which step fails. This is also not correct. What about option D? AWS CloudFormation templates are parsed in advance so that stack creation is guaranteed to succeed. CloudFormation templates are not parsed in advance to check whether resources would get created or not. They're just parsed to check for the syntaxes. So option B is the correct answer for this question. Previously created resources are deleted and the stack creation is terminated. This is the next question. The key point in this question is the error itself. 404, not found, no such bucket. If we look at each individual option, option A, Amazon S3 cannot find the bucket named no such bucket, is not correct, as no such bucket in the question refers to the error that occurred and not a bucket name. Option C, Amazon S3 object is not available, is incorrect, as the question very clearly talks about a bucket related error and not an object related error. Option D, Amazon S3 service is temporarily unavailable. Retry is also not valid. You would not get a 400 series no such bucket error in the first place if the service was not available. Therefore, option B, Amazon S3 cannot locate the requested bucket, is the correct answer for this question. Let's go ahead and revise the test axioms for this domain. Always check security groups and network access control lists when troubleshooting. Instances launched into a private subnet in a VPC can't properly communicate with the internet unless you use a NAT. You need an internet gateway and a route in the route table to talk to the internet. EBS volumes are loosely coupled to EC2 instances, can attach or detach except for the boot volume. That brings us to the end of domain 5. Let's go ahead and look at a few resources that you can use to prepare for the certification exam. You can go ahead and find a ton of reading material in the form of exam guides, sample questions, white papers and FAQs to go through, and the documentation and reference architectures at aws.amazon.com/certification. You can also get aws.quicklabs, or you could go ahead and create your own free tier account and do your own personal projects. There are also training courses available to cover different certification exams. There is one available for the AWS developer certification also. You'll find information regarding these courses also at aws.amazon.com/certification. That brings us to the end of the session. Thank you very much.